Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. I'm Reina Creole, bringing you that spice to sci-fi and pop culture analysis, and of course, keeping it real when it comes to theme parks. So, welcome everyone here on YouTube and here on Twitch. So glad you guys are here. I did take last Friday off because it was Easter weekend, so kind of spent the time out at the parks looking at all kinds of sweet food and everything. But I am so glad to be back here with you. And of course, glad to be back with my co-host, Fat Steven Seagal. How are you, my dear?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. A little bit more refreshed, a little more life in my soul, and the mentality is stable. So,
All right.
how are you doing? Was Easter good? Did the family at least pay for the dinner or no?
Pay for what?
That's a no.
Nah.
Okay, I already understand that's a no.
Nah. We had a great time. Of course, I went out to Disney, got all kinds of just sugar bomb type of stuff, and then hung out with some of the family. Good, homemade food. Visited, the old the ancestral homestead, and even got to see the cemetery and burial place of my fifth great grandfather in St. Augustine.
Nice.
So it was cool to see that, and got to see the Daughters of the American Revolution marker that they had for him in the cemetery. So that was really cool to see. So I had a very great weekend of theme park Florida and real Florida all in there together. So
Oh, the only theme park I did that was watch The Northman, and that was great. Honestly, I felt like it was
so want to
Valhalla.
see that.
I'll link you up after the show, but it feels like I'm watching 300 with Vikings in a way. It was really well done.
Oh, and I
Let's
love
just say there's a lot of abs
Vikings.
running around in cloth underwear, so you'll be happy
Ooh,
while
yeah,
doing like dancing at bear growls and stuff. So you'll enjoy
that's
that.
so my kind of
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
show.
yeah, it is.
I love that. I can't wait to see the Northman. Vikings was my favorite show. Actually, Vikings is what took me away from watching Game of Thrones. So I love Vikings. Wasn't the same after Ragnar Lothbrok officially kicked the bucket, but it was still a good watch. I absolutely love that. The Vikings, not Vikings Valhalla,
No, we're not talking
not
about
that
the 30%.
crap. Vikings.
You know the similarity between Valhalla, Netflix, and the drop in their shares?
Yeah.
Well, I think the 30% drop in shares has to do with the 30% drop in content and originality. That's pretty much what it is.
I think with Netflix, honestly, because this is kind of like how I am right now with Netflix, because
I watch it.
I do have Netflix,
Yeah,
but the reason that I have Netflix is for
Stranger
the
Things.
foreign releases,
Yeah, but
like
even the
my
foreign release, you
K
saw the one.
dramas.
Yeah, but what about that
Uh,
one they just related? Did you see Gundam's post a couple days ago where they're like
which
Netflix
one?
shares drop, and it's literally a Korean, I think, series about a guy who gets pregnant.
I'll have to look at that.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
here's the thing. Koreans are quite conservative. So I need to find out, is this something kind of like the movie Twins? Remember that movie with Danny DeVito and Arnold
Oh, yeah,
Schwarzenegger?
no, wasn't that Junior?
Or was it Junior?
It was Junior. Arnold
Oh
Schwarzenegger
God,
had
yeah, it
pregnant,
was
and he
Junior.
and then
Oh,
they had the really bad CG of
yeah,
his face on the baby's
yeah,
body when he picked. Yeah, I love that. I
yeah,
even quoted that like, I
yeah.
guess Schwarzenegger did it better.
So if it's like that, I can understand. So
I
that's
don't think it
actually
is
on my
though.
list to go and check out. But I mostly got it for, like I said, for like the K dramas. Because my
Hmm.
sister watches the K dramas because they used to live in South Korea. So between that, the foreign movies, I'm trying to finish up watching Peaky Blinders. But
Never
other
started that.
than that, yeah, I can kind of flip and see
Yeah.
why.
The only reason why I think I have Netflix at the moment is just so I can rewatch DS9 in the background whenever I want. Other than that, the anime isn't doing well. Their original series did
The
not have the
original series
attention.
are awful unless it's a foreign release or something
Yeah,
like that. Because there's a big, I mean, I tell people there's a serious quality difference. Like when, say, I watch like a K drama or I watch, like, say, All of Us Are Dead, or I'll watch Squid Game and then
yeah,
look at something like Vikings Valhalla. It's like,
yeah,
what
yeah.
the frick is that?
But we should be paying like say 6 months of subscription fees, like you know what I mean, over 6 months just to get one or two good things in the
Oh,
6 month period.
you are
And,
absolutely right.
quickly, chat, please smash the dislike if you want, because it helps in the algorithm. You can also smash the like if you want, or you can smash nothing.
DJ, I love it. It's funny. He was just like, "You guys are late. I'm gonna smoke weed and protest." So I was laughing because Justin
Ooh,
Proper, one of his jokes is dislike for waiting.
yeah, I actually got some really good news, and this goes out to, you know who Gen X is, right? Gen X had his kid a couple days ago. Is now a proud dad, so he has a youngling now. Gen X is,
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
He
okay.
was one day short of having a kid on 420.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh well, hello to all of you out there. We got like 20 you folks watching, and to go through say hi to the chat before we get started with our very uh packed show. All kinds of topics.
Oh, pack. That sounds like a
I
poop
want to
joke.
talk to
Me poo. Oh, wait. Hold on.
probably.
I got
That's
you.
a big Yorkie.
It's a big grumpy. Here, I got you, boo. I got you right there.
You got me. What's this here?
Blocking what it says. Me poo is trending.
I love that.
Thanks to Nick Ricada, though, I got this song stuck in my head when they're talking about the poo.
I love it. I love it.
Because they
That
were debating if it was a red wine poop on the bed, and then all of a sudden red wine would not stop playing in my head, so I had to do this. And I'm like, thanks, Nick. I super chat. I'm like, thanks, Nick. Now I got red wine. Please don't poop on me
oh
in my head.
God.
That's great.
That's so funny.
Mm.
I've been like watching the trial. As a matter of fact,
Oh, it's addictive,
I'm
isn't
gonna
it? Because
it so is it's like the
mm,
OJ trial. It is. I watch it because
Depp
I
is
have
my
it
spirit
on
animal.
while I'm working.
Yeah.
And I have the trial on in the background. But first of all, let's see. Michael Quaid, hello, says, yeah, that moon show was not worth watching, believe me. Well, we are going to talk about exactly that in a little bit. So thank you. So glad you are here. And let's see. Of course, I see CJ is here with us. As always, he makes my awesome thumbnails. Thank you so very, very, very much, my dear. It's a show on the CW or the BBC. Even worse, it's on Disney Plus. I haven't watched CW The only reason I'm going to go back and watch CW is to finish up the Superman and Lois show, which I'm waiting for the woke camera to fall on that. I feel like they're doing a rope a dope on us because the show is actually so good. I'm a little worried about that, but that's something else I got to catch up on watching.
I'm
Mm.
loving Depp. I think that in court that's his best role. He was getting rotten bombed. It's like, yes, you read that correctly. Well, yes, you did read that correctly. It felt like he was going to hand him a gold star later on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, actually, I have it because we're gonna look at that actually a little
Okay,
bit
not,
because
not hopefully not all of it. Yeah.
that like totally freaking made my day. So hopefully I would have, you know what, I should have actually had that flipping thing ready to go. But
Is it the clip where he keeps where they're cut to all of them like just congratulate? He just goes, yes, you read that correctly.
it's
Yeah.
it's so freaking funny. We probably won't look at the whole thing, but it's enough to give you the idea of
I
just
got
how freaking stupid and insufferable Amber Turds
Oh,
uh,
I got the clip. I did download one of the clips off Twitter of the different cuts. If you need it, I got it.
Oh,
I
okay,
want it.
cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you
Hey,
want
Punk Nova Traces. Hey, hi, Steve, Lorena, and chat. Well, hello, and good to see you here,
thank
my
you.
dear.
Thank you
Says
for calling me
just
Steve.
finished. Said just finished watching the newest episode of Moon Knight a couple minutes ago. Yeah, we gonna talk
Yeah,
about
there
that because
it
I have questions. I have
I don't want the
questions.
answers. That's the problem. I know we
Now,
got questions.
I have questions, and those of you who are the old school comic heads, I really need your help and insight. So I need y'all.
You know what they're gonna say, right?
What?
Read the comic.
Yeah, no, eventually, but maybe. I don't know. I don't know because watching the show makes me not want to go and read the comics because it's gonna piss me off probably even more. Hello, BC, aka the Dark Shadow says Happy Earth Day. All right. Well, thank you very, very much. Yes, Happy Earth Day indeed. Actually, every day should be Earth Day.
Depends
It
on how
really
much of it you
should.
smoke.
Well, I don't think it's a coincidence that Earth Day is the day after 420.
Yeah, there's
I'm
no.
just saying.
Eh.
Hey, Lonnie Holcomb says good afternoon. Good afternoon, and thank you for being a channel member, my dear. I sure do appreciate that. We have D Nice Gamer here with us. Says good afternoon, Lorena, Fat Steven, and chat. Sad Moon Knight wasn't made like the Netflix shows. You mean like with respect to Daredevil, which I have queued up actually to watch. Yeah, we gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that. And yes, Justin's show is on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Please do check that out. And Stephanie Janice Sex Smugglers Cantina. Hello, my dear. Says Moon Knights is a borehole. Ugh. Wait till you hear me talk about it, my dear. Just, just, ugh, just wait. Just wait. Let's see. And we have Pops who says greetings and
Hey, Pops.
salutations. Well, hello, Pops. Good to see you. Good to see you. And yes, love my wrenches. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate the heck out of you. Dylan Campbell, hello, says, hey, Lorena and Steven. I just finished listening to the new Corn song that dropped. It's amazing. Oh, they
Oh,
dropped a new track?
what's the name of the song, Dylan? Oh my God, is it? It's not like dubstep and kilts again, is it? Like they did in the cornfield? Is it actually that good? Sorry, I have trauma from that album.
Have to check it. Hello, Andy Masterson. This is hello, Lorena Creole. Well, hello to you. Hello to you. Ram Bam 3000 says hello, Lorena Creole and Fat Steven Seagal. Well, hello to you, Ram Bam, from across the pond there. CJ says Netflix doesn't have porn, so Netflix doesn't have me. I've heard that from actually from several people.
Netflix has porn, but it's leftist porn. It's all just agenda checklist.
Oh,
Sorry, I had to.
let's see. Hunch the Dirty Roofer. That handle is something about it. This Tokyo Vice is pretty good. Really? Tokyo Vice. Okay. I have to put that on the list. Let's see. Punk Nova Traces Moon Knight isn't perfect, but I still enjoy watching it. It's kind of like what I tell people. If you like it and you enjoy it, there's nothing wrong with that. 90-Day Fiance is a hot garbage fire, but that's a guilty pleasure of mine, and I freaking enjoy watching it every week, my dear. Let's see. Hello, Robert. Thank you for being a channel member. Says hello, Lorena and Steven. Hello, hello,
Y'all using my name
hello.
today. How many times did she pay you guys? This is weird. I'm using my name today. Not just guess.
Well, there are 23 of you folks in here watching this afternoon. Thank you so much for being here. I sure to appreciate it. You guys on YouTube, you guys here on Twitch. And the first victim, or before we get actually to our first victim, I see Felicity Poobell with that gorgeous avatar. Thank you for the $5 super chat, my dear. I so do appreciate that. Moon Knight Normie, who is as mad about the show. Oscar and Ethan sold me on this initially. Bad storytelling and Mary Sue insert killing wannabe Legion. All right, now I'm glad you brought that up. Glad you brought that up. Thank you for the super chat. I am a Moon Knight normie as well. With all the Marvel comics that I have collected, Moon Knight is not among them. As a matter of fact, I didn't know who this guy was at all. I mean, he wasn't like, say, Iron Man. He wasn't even, I mean, I knew who Shang-Chi was. I knew who Shang-Chi was. I had no idea who this Moon Knight guy was, at all. So when I inquired of certain comic book consigliaries on Twitter who I trust, who were telling me who this guy was, that he had like multiple personalities and all of that, I'm like, oh, well, that could be kind of interesting. Fat Steven, had you heard of the
No,
Moon Knight character before this?
no. That's why I went in with like no background knowledge when it came to the comic books, and it's not rewatchable. And that's my opinion right now.
It really is not. And for me, exactly, for me, Oscar Isaac, I was watching this initially for Oscar Isaac. Then I heard Ethan Hawke was in it, and I love Ethan Hawke
He's the
as
best
well.
character.
He really is. His character, Ethan Hawke's character, is the best thing about this show. He plays that villain that is so likable, but you want to hate him, and you know you're supposed to hate him, but you really can't. I mean, his acting in this is great. It's the best thing, but the storytelling is not all that good. I mean, I should want to care about the main character, and I don't. The only person I care about is the bad guy, which
Well, the,
was not on purpose.
the real character actually isn't even Moon Knight. It's literally the chick that your any money is going to be the next
Oh
Moon Knight.
yeah, yeah. That's it. Because that's all we keep hearing about. She's going to be,
Yeah.
Khonshu's next avatar. That's who That's who he.
She's gonna
That's
be the
what he
love, yeah.
wants.
And
You
then
know.
her and Natalie Portman are gonna mighty Thor a love story.
Because I don't even see why this chick is even needed. I really don't. It's like I don't
Strong
care
women.
about her.
She
I
is in the
want to
comics
know.
supposedly. She is in the comics, so I'm not trying to say like it's actually just there for things, but the way they're delivering her seems very nonchalant and
Contrived.
storyline. Yeah.
Okay, and that's the issue that I have. It's like I can see if her character is used appropriately, but it's not, and you can see it coming from a mile away. That's what they want to do. Thank you, Felicity Poobell, for that super chat. Tired retro gamer. I like that. I like that. Like that app, that handle there for $5. Thank you so very, very much. I know he is in an asylum in the comics, but the ending of the last episode felt like it was straight ripping off Legion. I don't know who Legion
Oh, you haven't
is.
watched it?
I haven't watched Legion. I will say
Oh,
this. The ending of the last episode seems so ass backwards to me.
yep.
It didn't
Should
it
have been the
didn't
first one.
it didn't fit. And it could have been the first one, but what I didn't like is they run into Ahmed. Okay, for people who do not know, and I'm thinking that the show was written way better, I probably would have laughed. Hippos are the most dangerous freaking animal on the Nile. They're even more dangerous than crocodiles. They're nothing to mess with and should have been menacing. I've seen a live hippo before. They're not like a nice, fun, cute. They're kind of cute a little bit, but not until they start opening their mouth and thrashing around and roaring and crap. But that ending, it landed with a whimper,
Yeah, it did.
and I just didn't freaking get it. And anyone who's a nature nerd like I am is just like, what the heck? I would have bought it if the hippo would have roared at them. That would have made complete and total sense sense to me. Yeah, they are. They really are. They are freaking boss. Hey, stunning and brave Megatron, hippos are ass. They are. More people are killed in Africa on the Nile by hippos than by crocodiles. It's absolutely true. A hippo can tear through a car. I believe it. They're not small creatures, and they are very fierce. Monkey Jeebus, they can be nice, but I would not. Nah, I wouldn't mess with them. I see all of you guys' comments, and I'm gonna get to them. Thank you so very much. Tired Retro Gamer for another $5. Thank you so very much for that. So generous. Legion was an X-Men show that had the same exact twist, three-fourths through the first season as well. Is Legion on Netflix?
No, it's not, but you should be able to find it somewhere. And
Okay.
honestly, if you like that type of thing, it will,
Mhm.
your mind will be happy.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna have to check out Legion. You know what? I'm gonna write it. I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna write it. I'm gonna write it down. Legion. Okay. I'm gonna write that down. I'll have to check that out after I finish watching Daredevil. Keely Chow says it was on FX, and CJ says it was on FX. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Thank you, Tired Retro Gamer. I surely do appreciate that. I will definitely have to check that out. Let's see. Let's see. I have Moon Knight comics and toys. Oh, okay, Monkey Jeebus. Says Moon Knight is okay. People are mad because there have been many Moon Knight reboots and they mix them, and people who read early runs don't recognize him. Okay, that makes sense. I didn't even know there you're talking about reboots from the comics, because this is the only Moon Knight show that I know about. But if you're talking about the comics, I completely understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there this Moon Knight, I just no, just no. I can't. I cannot get into him. I did like Mark's character, that that persona I really
Oh
liked,
my
but they
god.
did nothing with it. I mean, a mercenary looking for redemption. It's like I can deal with that kind of storyline. Give me that. But it just goodness. Moon Knight, aka knockoff Batman. Oh, I saw the new Batman movie finally.
And
I hated it.
it's boring. I found it boring.
It was boring as hell. The Riddler,
It was a
the
glad
Riddler
garbage
just looked
bag.
like a pissed off nerd. It wasn't like some sinister, um, devious villain. The Riddler was nobody to mess with. And this dude, no, it was horrible. Catwoman was freaking boring. I fell asleep, and I'm not gonna buy. I did not buy and never will buy Robert Pattinson as Batman. I'm freaking insulted. They tried to pass him off as that. Hey, Kaylee, good to see you, my dear. Good to see you, my dear.
Okay.
Tired retro gamer says poor man's Lara Croft. And BK Panther, hello, my dear. Good to see you. Says it's hard to watch. I tried, but just kept zoning out and watched YouTube videos with Moon Knight running in the background. LOL. Yet the pacing in this, I just couldn't stay interested. It's like it
Yeah,
dragged. It spent way too much time on, the like the Steven persona, which they seem to like a lot more than Mark. And there was just nothing interesting about him. And like I said, it just dragged. I didn't get interested until Mark showed up.
it
And they're
literally
just
feels like nagging.
it
That and there's
does.
always a mirror. Steven, Mark, don't kill him. Please don't kill. Don't punch him there. Please don't. You're stabbed with the spear, but please don't punch anyone. Just let them keep stabbing you.
Oh, God, it's
That's
just like
it's yeah. That's the stuff. And then you get the. It's like, all right, good fight scene. Why did you go into a stand-up comedy and it pulls you out again? It's like they can't keep it stable. That's my biggest issue.
they just can't. They just can't. Now, F. Murray Abraham as Khonshu, I love his voice. I love the actor F. Murray Abraham. He's freaking awesome. He's another good thing as well, but at the same time, the CGI sucks. They kind of just like use the character here, here and there. It's just so much wasted effort. I don't care about this character. I don't care about this show. The Mary Sue that they put in there, like his ex-wife, it's like they tried to take the storyline from Romancing the Stone and effed it up. Just doesn't work. Yeah, it was so horrible. I have no problem with romance. I have no problem with that. You can drop it in action. Raiders of the Lost Ark does it extremely well, as do other films, where it's kind of like the side thing. It's not the main thing that's going on. And as usual, oh God, this all of this is just filler between Marvel's movies. I missed it when you had to wait 2 years for a Marvel movie. The Onslaught 616. Hello there, my dear. Haven't seen you on my channel here before, so welcome. Moon Knight has been so boring. The first Marvel show that bored me. That's an interesting point. I'm gonna ask you, Fat Steven, out of all of the Marvel shows that they put on to the MCU, which ones have made you want to tap out the quickest?
I tapped out after WandaVision. I put so much effort in that. And then they Ralph Boner. Like I've said this before because I've talked on the channels about it before. When WandaVision dropped, remember all the excitement and all the Easter eggs and how everyone was like, "Holy crap! They're
Yeah.
finally going to do something that seems like it's going." And then we got Ralph Boner. And ever since then, Ralph Boner has been lingering and hovering over every Disney Marvel series that has come out. And every time, Ralph Boner seems to get closer and closer. So after WandaVision, and then we went to what was it? What was it? Falcon and the
Went
Winter
from
Fail?
WandaVision to Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh my God, Falcon and
So
the
they
Winter
went
Re.
they
Yeah.
went to that. Then they
And
went
Loki.
to Loki. Now, Loki, I tapped that after the first one with Loki.
I tapped out after 2 episodes. The same with the Falcon. I was like, I'm out. This is like, as soon as I saw them get pulled over, they're known as
Mhm.
Avengers, and they get pulled over by police and racially I was done. I'm like, this is not happening. I'm out. I can't. It's like even heroes get pulled over with racial profiling. You're out of touch. I was out, and
It
and I was, and it's like, and then what was the other one? I didn't
uh
watch the What If series, and
God.
I was
I didn't
hearing,
watch
yeah,
that. Hawkeye, I actually
we did the
watched that.
review. We
We
did the
did the
review.
review of that.
And
That
we
one
had one
I
of the bros
actually
on.
watched from the beginning to the
Yeah.
end. It wasn't the best, but it had enough in there to actually make me want to sit and watch it with a bowl of popcorn. I could pretty much do that. Moon
But we
Knight, I
had,
will say, sorry, I'm interrupting.
it's okay.
Moon Knight, the first episode, I didn't
Yeah.
have a problem with,
No.
besides the crappy CGI.
Yeah.
But it was okay. So I'm like, okay, you got me. I'm intrigued. Let's see what happens with, the second episode. The second episode limped along. So I'm like, okay, I'll give you to the third one. no, it's been boring consistently all the way through. So
Yep.
I can't wait to see the ratings on this one because it's just gonna be freaking crap. Yeah, our Pats isn't Batman. End on exactly. There he isn't.
No, no.
He isn't. When you
That.
say you're
mm.
not working out for the freaking role, come on now.
See, they
Come
messed up
on.
a perfect opportunity here with Robert Patterson. They should not have done a the Batman. You have Keaton sitting on the sidelines. Pattinson looks like a Terry McGinnis. You had an awesome ability and opportunity to not only bring Keaton in as old Bruce Wayne to train Terry McGinnis and bring in Batman Beyond and open up a whole new Batman type of universe set in the future. And you know what? Do two different universes, and you don't even have to ruin the Snyderverse. But what do you give us, Captain? Hello, it's Batman. Let me in. We fear him,
Nobody
except when he knocks.
nobody
I
cares
can't.
about that chick.
Okay, do you remember the kiss between him and Zoe? And it was like his mouth opened like a high school kid. I was like, I'm gonna get them for the first time, and that's when the girl's looking up and like the tongue and the mouth is all open. And yeah, yeah. I was sitting there going, oh no,
I
oh
couldn't.
no, oh no.
God.
Sorry,
No, Ram
that's
Bam,
just
I did not care about his ex-wife. I cared more about his ball busting cow the boss at the at the gift shop. She was actually pretty hilarious. I'm like, okay, maybe they'll do something with that, but they didn't.
nope.
Khonshu reminded me of Sony's Venom, not in a good way. LOL.
That's what everyone's saying though. It's the voice in the head thing. It's like they're just taking the same models and just applying it to something else. Not only that, he looks like a white version of the the crows that sang from Disney.
Oh God. Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
could have did so
it's
much
yeah.
better. Hello, Tony Robinson. Good to see you. Good to see you. And yes, Mark is the only interesting character.
No,
He is, but he's not enough to like keep me hooked,
no.
because he's got such a crap story going on. It's not that great. Hey, Mark D with the C. We're gonna end with this one on this topic. That last episode was really boring. We've got a Moon Knight series where his ex-wife is the star. Will we even get Moon Knight in the next episode? And that's the problem that I have. This is supposed to be about Moon Knight, but yet it seems like his ex-wife keeps popping up and
I did
everything.
what? Oh yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
She's who Khonshu wants as his next avatar, not,
Yeah.
hey Mark, you're mine for eternity. Get to
Her neck
stepping.
yeah, her necklace gave it away when that in the fighting scene with the horses when she took it off and it looked like crescent moons. If you
Mm-hmm.
there's your sign. And I'm sorry, a masking tape in the desert to make a map, sand everywhere on something that's how many thousands years old. And let's look at the other thing because I do a panel about this too. You're telling me you couldn't use star maps or any other type of star registration app that's out there that literally can show you the sky from where you say you don't know how to find it, and you made a light show with Khonshu waving his hands goodbye. Like, shall I go on? Here's your sign. God dang it. God dang it. Dang it. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
No, I
Not at
so
all.
think that this is just no. That audience score, nah,
It's hot
nah,
garbage.
totally hot garbage. Speaking of hot garbage, and I'm kind of
Mhm.
using that as an analogy. Who's been watching the
I
Johnny
have.
Johnny versus Amber Heard, aka
Careful.
OJ one off?
I got to give you a quick warning though, because I'm from following Tug's Twitter.
Oh yeah,
Supposedly
I'm aware.
TMZ is being a total douchebag and trying to copyright claim clips from an open, publicly available domain trial right now. TMZ is that butthurt right now.
I I believe it. I
Yeah,
believe it. I
because
totally
no
believe
one's
it.
reading TMZ.
Yeah, I know. No one is. When TMZ used to focus on hot trash that was going on in LA, they were perfect. It was
Mm-hmm.
awesome. But now nobody freaking cares because they're staying out, they're moving out of their lane consistently. So nobody freaking cares about TMZ anymore
Hell no.
whatsoever. And yes, he looks very, very, very sharp in this photo. I've been following this trial. I mean, I hadn't followed it when it was over in the UK when he had sued the son. So I hadn't really followed it that closely. But once it got here, that's when I really started following it and listening to a lot of those tapes that they've been playing,
Oh my.
hearing her crazy ass.
Oh my.
And just if you can't hear in those tapes just how mentally abusive she is, the
It's
Aqua lady is, I don't know what to tell you.
she is mentally abusive. She's also emotionally abusive, and
Oh
it's kind of.
yes.
And when they played that clip of her in the kitchen, him slamming the cabinets, like really, you just he's in distress, and you just decided to start filming, sus.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's been an interesting ride.
Totally. It's been really
Amber Heard
interesting.
destroyed me too, and that's gonna be the best part.
God, I know. BK Panther said, "This is another one that I don't really care for. They deserve each other. I don't care who wins. I'm more
Hmm.
interested in their testimonies to watch their body language," which I agree. One of the things that I do like about this trial, well, we'll put it this way, yeah, trial, because that's exactly what it is. You got a jury bringing to the forefront the issue of men enduring domestic violence. Because here's the thing, it's for the longest time, it's like it's one thing, if a woman claims domestic violence, everyone seems prone to believe her by default. But if a man claims that,
We're laughed
they're
at.
not, yeah, they're laughed at, demeaned. What do you mean? That's happening to you. That's ridiculous. I don't freaking believe you. Even men who are in domestic violence situations, it's harder for them to get resources and assistance because of that. I'm not saying it's right because it isn't. Men and women should be believed and handled equally when it comes to a domestic violence situation. So, one of the things that come from this, I mean, granted, I'm not a celebrity worshiper, I'm far from it. I do like Johnny Depp. Johnny's got his demons, and actually, if you saw that picture, how much weed he actually
Oh,
had.
dude. It's
Whoa,
pretty much yeah, but it's pretty much they're both celebrities. They're both pieces of crap, and I'm not trying to sound this honestly, but they're celebrities. They're still human beings. They're still pieces of crap. But
Absolutely.
but at the end of the day, from a human interest aspect, if you take the celebrity out of there, the highlighted thing is the fact that men are never believed. They lose everything. She's been
Hmm.
lying, and she's been costed nothing. That's the problem here. They're saying like you want equal rights. You can't even get equal rights when it comes to stuff like domestic abuse.
Exactly. Exactly. So regardless of, him, regardless of her, the most important thing coming out of this trial is highlighting how men have to endure or not have to endure or are in situations where they are enduring domestic violence. So I hope that this puts an extremely hard spotlight on all of this. And I hope, granted, I didn't have an opinion way back in the day, but I hope they freaking kick Air, kick the Aqua lady off of
Dude,
Aquaman 2 because I love Jason Momoa, but I can't sit and watch that movie
dude,
after watching this trial here.
isn't that the rumor though that they're already doing reshoots to replace her and that she's already out
I heard that, especially with the takeover of WB by
yeah
Discovery,
and she's not the
because
only
they
one
put everything off. So, from
yeah
what I've heard, they're probably actively writing her out of the film. We'll see what happens, but I can't, with this much bad press, and you want to put that chick in a movie? No, no, absolutely, absolutely not. Roblox 2424. I'm gonna get to your comment in a minute after we get done this segment here on Johnny Depp. Well, hello, Shinobi Firecracker. Good to see you. Good to see you here. You kind of new. Let's see. BK Panther said, I watched a little yesterday. He's unstable. No idea what his physical ailments are, but he's got drug and drinking problems. Yeah, and he's actually been very public about that. And if you followed his career, that's something he's been involved in. I mean, I believe he was at the correct me if I'm wrong. Sorry if I screwed this up. He was at the freaking Viper Room when River Phoenix OD'd. So unfortunately, it's not anything new. But here's what cracks me up. Okay, how much of a crazy person do you have to be to I don't care how much you do not like your significant other, but are you really going to drop a deuce on their side of the bed and blame it on a 4-pound dog? I mean, for real,
Yeah.
it just makes no freaking sense at all. So I'm not gonna play the audio because I don't want to freaking get claimed. But you can actually find this out on the Daily Mail's website, where they actually have the video of this portion where he's basically describing how Amber went and crapped on their bed, because how he found out was he got a picture that was sent to his phone, and when he's like about to describe it, you can see in his head where he's like, okay, well, how the heck do I describe what's going on? And basically it was that, and he said there was a defecation on his side of the bed. And Amber tried to blame the dogs. And of course, Amber Heard's attorneys tried to say, well, um, why do you think it's her? After she blamed the dog, and it's just like the Yorkies are like 4 pounds each. Why? No, it's obviously, obviously human. It's ridiculous. It's just like, how crazy. Who I mean, are you really going to be so angry at your significant other you're going to crap on their side of the bed? I mean, you may have the dogs crap on their side of the bed. Now, I've seen people do that.
She's been abusive even before that with her female, because she is what, lesbian or bisexual. So she has,
Bisexual.
and that's the thing when it comes to abusive relationships. The abuser has a history.
She had a history, I believe. She got into an
Mhm.
altercation with her girlfriends, or her former girlfriend, I think.
Mhm.
But I read correctly. Yeah. Ugh, that's just freaking mess. Hey, Purple, glad you are here with us, my dear. So good to see you. So good to see you. She's an awesome channel. Please just subscribe to Purple Valkyrie. Get the chance. Doesn't Johnny own the Viper Room? I think that's what it was. My memory's a little fuzzy, but I think he does. I think he does. I actually drove by there one time while I lived in LA, because I had to go back and I had to go check it out. Johnny Depp is friends with Charlie Sheen. Enough said. These dudes were doing, you know, all that stuff back in the day. Bad Buddy says, when you gotta go.
Red wine.
Oh Lord. Punk Number Trey says, I haven't been paying attention to the trial. For some people it's off their radar. For me, I'm like, well, granted, I'm in this whole pop culture sphere, so I kind of have to pay attention to it. But it's interesting to watch, and interesting to watch these people when there isn't a camera filming a movie in front of them or a TV in front of them, to see how they interact with real life people.
Yeah.
And it's not televised. It's interesting to watch their face, watch their body language, watch how they answer questions. It's very interesting. So, yeah, that's the deal. What's going on? So, trial's still happening, but yeah, this chick is crazy. I completely hope that she winds up getting cut out of Aquaman 2 and a whole lot of other things. Because if you go back and listen to these tapes of her, she sounds so completely freaking unhinged. As a matter of fact, she sounds like Jada Pinkett Smith, honestly.
Oh, there's a rumor going around about that too. That supposedly the doctor hasn't diagnosed her with alopecia. She self-diagnosed herself with alopecia. That's the rumor going around.
Really.
Yeah. So, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
There goes Will's career because of
That brings up some
mention.
interesting things. And he thought his divorce from the first wife was a problem.
Although
Mm.
I am happy though because we've had one person from WAPO try to do a cancel culture campaign thing in the hit piece on our favorite TikToker, Lives of TikTok. But thanks to Taylor Lorenz, in 24 hours, gained 1,000 new followers.
Oh yeah. I've been
Yeah,
following the libs of
me
TikTok because
too. I changed
libs
my
of
name.
TikTok, libs of TikTok. I tell you, Babe the Menace is pretty much programmed by libs of TikTok every
Yeah,
every,
I, I
every week.
I actually changed my icon and my name when quartering did just for fun. And
Mhm.
it was quite funny because I was watching BBC and I was making memes, and Nina actually thought I was Lives of TikTok, going, "Oh my God, Gary asked me Lives of TikTok just means you," and I'm just like, "That's not Lives of TikTok," you know. I was like, "When?"
It's like, is it real or is it Memorex?
Yeah.
Otis Ottenbury, Ophis Ottenbury. Haven't seen you in my chat before, so welcome. He did own the Viper Room. I heard he was partying with River too. The partying with River, I do remember him doing because people kept asking him about what happened, at the Viper Room with River OD, and that was a huge thing. Thank you for letting us know that. And hey, Phil, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Well, hopefully, this trial will result in Amber having to pay out the ass. Pun
You will.
intended. Pun completely intended. And but for the WB, Amber isn't the only
Oh
problem
God.
that they have. We got Ezra Miller getting busted again by the cops.
At a traffic pullover after the residents of the house he threw the chair at the woman and caused a gash in her forehead.
Mm-hmm.
Made a report. I can't go on to some of the rumors going around, but let's just say I'm guessing there's a lot of people pissed, and this whole people who hide behind pronouns and all this stuff. Um,
Hey, Lady
it,
Tario.
that pendulum of hiding behind those things isn't going to keep people safe no more. That's all I can say.
No, because these people are costing other people money
Money.
in a big way. And you can't hide behind your sexual orientation. You can't hide behind your pronouns, especially here when it comes to Ezra and BK Panther. I agree. They gave Ezra enough chances. He needs to be booted. If he was Joe Q public, he wouldn't be given as many breaks as he has been. And what is it with Ezra Miller assaulting women? You notice this pattern going on with Ezra Miller,
Choking, chair, and everything else. Yes, I'm noticing it.
but you hardly hear anything about it.
He's a rich, spoiled brat. His dad's side, I believe, is rich. The Miller side, it shows.
It's just
And yeah,
This is absolutely, absolutely nuts. But yeah, like we said before, again in Hawaii. All right, this guy got pissed. This is a poet. Let's see. So there was an assault at the home in Leilani Estates subdivision, and according to the report, Miller allegedly got angry after being asked to leave the home and threw a chair, striking a 26-year-old woman in the head, causing a
hmm
half-inch cut. The woman refused treatment for injury. Now, it could have been a situation where he just freaking threw a chair and wasn't paying attention, but I don't believe
oh
that was
no,
the
he
case.
was in their
He
house.
intentionally did this. At least this is what it seems like.
He was in their house. They were asked to leave, and he chucked a chair. Then he fled.
And then he fled like a punk. No, this is ridiculous. Between this, yeah, the latest string in legal run-ins for Miller. How much rope is WB is do you think that WB, especially given their new ownership, do you think they're trying to give Ezra Miller enough rope to hang himself with?
I don't think there's any more rope left. What I think is happening is this is costing them money on things that haven't even been released yet. And there's two in the
Roger that.
DC, and I think there's two in the DC properties, both Amber Turd and Ezra Miller, that are literally making things look bad. And as we know and we've seen from Zaslav and cleaning out mostly all of the inclusion department, including was it Ann Sarnoff?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Sarnoff, she got the boot.
yeah. So this is
I think Hamada is on the chopping block
Hamada.
too.
I think Hamada at this point is just a placeholder till they find someone. I'm guessing because I think I read Geekosity a lot, and I'm thinking that
Hmm.
there's going to be a whole new upper channel change.
There could be.
I'm hoping.
Still, who throws a chair? I guess he thought that that was. I guess she wasn't close enough for him to attempt to choke her like he did that one chick in that one video.
Hmm.
I guess he thought he could just throw a chair, you know, instead. BK Panther says, I think it's common to refuse treatment because that costs a lot of money to be taken to the hospital by ambulance. That is true. That is true. If it's a difference for some people, if it's a difference between, you know what, I'll just shake it off, okay, and won't, you know, and won't go to the hospital to get treated because it does cost money. For some people, what an ambulance is like what? I think almost like a grand right now to just be taken to the hospital. Then you have the hospital charges. So she probably just said, screw it. I'll just file a police report and, and deal with it that way. Hey, Lady T. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I know all I know is things don't look good for Hamada at at all. And they need to get rid of these people. Trinoculus P says, will we see a return to morality clauses in contracts? That is an excellent question.
I don't know.
Yeah, I really don't know.
I think the activism has to be nailed first and nullified. And honestly, it should go back to when you cross this door, you're doing your job that you're paid for. We don't care about what you're offended by or not. That's not how a workplace runs. We're not here to talk about your feelings. We're here to get a job done that we're giving you a paycheck for. That needs to be brought back. And if people don't like it, well, start flipping burgers because that's the only place it's going to take you.
I think with a lot of these people, and especially, well, we'll go back to Amber Turd for a minute. For her, she's obviously unhinged, and you got actors out there who have problems with their personal life, but usually they can kind of keep that crap under wraps. With her, it's just all over the place, and it's poisoning everything that she's in. It's like I love Jason Momoa, but I can't go back and watch Aquaman after seeing all this about her. It's just as poisonous. I don't even want to see Aquaman 2 because of her. Ezra Miller, I didn't like his acting anyway. I thought he was the worst part of Zack Snyder's Justice League. I really didn't like his parts where he was in it. But at that time he hadn't been arrested twice in Hawaii. And now he's poisoned. Who wants to go, and well, we know who wants to go to see him in a movie, but I'm just like, I can't see this person. This is someone who's obviously they're making excuses for, who keeps getting away with assaulting women, and you hear nothing from these third wave feminists about it. You hear nothing from the pronoun community about it. It's like that's okay.
Mm.
Ugh. Define chair. Could Ezra even pick up a lawn chair, let alone throw it? I don't know, dude. I don't know. It could have been a cheap chair from IKEA or a folding chair. Maybe a folding chair. It could have been that. It could have been that. CJ, yeah, that choking video looked fake AF though. The girl looked like she was giggling, laughing all the way down to the ground, and he appeared to have lowered her, not thrown her to the ground, in my opinion. I don't think that one was fake.
Because the guy filming was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, he actually was the one concerned.
I think the chick was laughing because she probably didn't think of what else to do. Some people get starstruck and they'll let people do whatever. I'm not. If Ezra Miller would have tried to do that to me, I'm going swinging at him. Sorry, you don't touch me. You don't touch me. You don't touch another person like that. So Nah, I think it was real. I think she was indulging him and just felt like she couldn't, for whatever reason, couldn't protest to it at all. But I have heard some people thinking that it was fake, but it didn't look fake to me. It really didn't. Let's see. Roadblock 2424 says the trial is a good case study in men's rights that gets ignored in terms of domestic violence coming from a woman. There's an obvious double standard that seems to always get shut down regularly. Yeah, it really is. And one thing that I've been saying for years, and what a lot of other people have been saying for years, is that this should be applied equally. Domestic violence charge brought by a woman should be just as valid as one brought by a man, with the
Should
evidence
be,
bearing itself out. You shouldn't by default believe all women because there's a domestic violence situation, or believe all men when that happens.
should be believable facts.
Exactly. Exactly. It should be believable to all the facts. Oh yeah. Let's see. Ezra Miller's antics are only confirming my opinion that he was a terrible choice to play the Flash. To me, he was just a crappy actor. I didn't really see anything important, about him. But yeah, Ram Bam, your opinion, I've heard that one too. I've heard that one too. A lot of people do not like Ezra Miller. So BK Panther, I would love to see Lorena Creole knock Ezra out. I don't like to get in physical altercations, but if you don't, I don't know you like that, you don't touch me. And one of these days, if Ezra Miller doesn't get the help that he needs and reins himself in, he's going to swing at the wrong woman,
Yeah.
a woman who's going to fight back. And then
It's
what kind of
ma'am.
situation you have? Mm-hmm. Ugh. I tell you, oh my God, I just saw ass. Oh, where the nice gamer. Ezra Miller versus Mike Tyson on a plane. Oh, that's not even a contest. Is it? Mike, 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 I tell you. Uh, so what are your predictions, Fat Steven? You think WB is going to finally drop Ezra Miller?
I think they're going to be firing a whole bunch of people. At this point, it's assault. It could have actually injured that woman to the point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, we're going to watch the fallout. I think it's coming.
It's yeah, it's definitely coming. Definitely coming. It needs to be because it's poisoning everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. So
And even with DeSantis and the whole Disney thing, that the fact they lost their special privileges.
oh yeah. Yeah.
See, it's happening.
For folks who don't know, um Disney screwed around and found out. And yesterday, the Florida House passed the bill to rescind the special privileges for
Yeah,
certain tax districts generated after 1968. So it's not just Disney, but Disney's the biggest one that's caught up in that. So that passed. So now it's waiting for Ron DeSantis to sign it into law.
it's gonna be a good day.
It's, yeah, yeah. People thought that DeSantis was playing. He's not playing. When Disney was just like, they should have kept, well, Chapek should have kept his mouth shut. To basically say, look, we're just making entertainment for everyone. We're not into politics. But as soon as they started talking about they're going to go after the state of Florida and do everything to overturn this law, basically, you're saying we know better than Floridians,
Yeah,
and it's not looking good for them. And I'll tell you this right now, as someone who lives in Florida, as someone who had relatives who lived in this state for like centuries, the rest of Florida doesn't give a crap about Disney.
no,
Okay, and ever since Disney got that land the way that they got it, they are not they are not looked upon very well in the state of Florida. So Orange County, where they are, a little bit of Osceola County, but Orange County, where they are, is one county out of all the other counties. They ain't thinking about Orange County. And if Disney was on fire, the other counties would bring more gasoline to pour onto it. But you
Yeah.
don't hear that in the news, do you?
No. You hear narratives. That's it. You hear, yeah.
Trinoculus pieces turns out it's not smart to threaten a state. No, it's really not it's not smart. It's really not smart. Now, granted, they've got 14 months, I think, to hash this out. They'll have a come to Jesus moment. If Disney is smart, they'll have a come to Jesus moment and they'll figure something out where Disney can somewhat save face and do a mea culpa and hammer all this out. They've got 14 months to do it. But if they're smart, which Chapek had better be because he's got to talk to the investors next month, they will realize that they have stepped in it and they need to fall back on that. Hey, Dylan says, "Damn, I wish we had Cameron's on insight into what may be going on with this." Yeah, I know Cameron's off social media until after Ramadan is over, which I think is the first week
Wasn't he?
in May.
Yeah.
And
Is he
we're
doing
actually supposed
better?
to have him back on the channel. Yes, he is doing better. I know I haven't really said anything about it. Cameron ran into a little bit of a uh medical thing, but he's good. He's fine now. He's doing good. He's recovering and all of that. So prayers for him, often those up, but he is on the mend definitely, and we hope to see him really soon on this channel next month. So
Mhm.
that'd be awesome. Let's see. Disney is yeah, Trinoculus P. That is pretty much it. Disney, Florida's not California, and they're finding out really, really the hard way that it's not California. Um, no, Kaylee, he's not. He's definitely not back on Twitter. They effectively banned him from Twitter, so he's over on Instagram. You can find him as Cameron Pasha 72 over there on Instagram if you see him. And Lorena Creole, have you seen the interview with Ezra Miller and Gal Gadot where Ezra wanted Gal to call out straight men? No, I don't believe I saw that. It's like, why? And why should she have to do it?
I
Oh
don't get it.
God, please. Ezra Miller is a little punk, and I hope like I say, I hope he gets the help that he needs. But if he was John Q. Public, his ass would have been in jail.
Hmm.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Ram Bam 3000 for £5 of the Queen's money. Thank you so very, very, very much. Andre from Midnight's Edge, of course, my boss, is of the opinion that this could be a 4D chess move by Chapek to regain control of Disney. Um, very possible.
There's.
Politics. Oh, go ahead, Fasim.
I was going to add to that. There's also been rumors, thanks to Clownfish TV, that Iger might come back.
That is possible
Their
because
last
a
video they did,
lot
yeah.
of yeah, I saw that. The creatives want Iger to come back. The money people, we'll say before this popped off, pretty much wanted Chapek to stay there because he's cutting a lot of the fat. So unfortunately, which sucked with the parks, as he was a cheap ass. That happened. Also, what's going on with the parks? You can actually blame Josh Damaro for that because he runs the parks, not Chapek any longer. But the money people like Chapek because is actually cutting out a lot of bad deals, talking about getting back to making entertainment, all about that. But the creatives did not like him. So when you're talking about a 4D chess move, that is possible. Politics is a dirty game.
Yep.
And there's things that you're not seeing, backroom things that could be happening, discussions going on. It wouldn't surprise me if Chapek pulled something like this to basically say, let me see how much of the company that I can burn down before resurrecting it back up. That's not out of the ordinary. But like I said, they've got 14 months. 14 months. That's a long time. So Chapek has been very quiet. So it's going to be
Yeah.
interesting what he says within the next couple of days or so. And Force of Light Entertainment, hello dear, so good to see you. Do we know exactly what they passed yesterday will mean for Disney? Contrary to what's out there about, oh well, all the Orange County taxpayers are going to have to pay an extra $2,000, there's no proof of that. What we do know is that Disney has 14 months to figure out what they're going to do before their special tax privileges end. That's the fact. So anything you hear about how much money it's going to cost, no, that study hasn't even been done yet. So right now, that's the fear mongering that they have out there to basically,
Weaponize.
yes, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. What's going on? So get your popcorn. This is going to be very interesting. Disney losing their tax privileges because, as I said, the rest of the state does not look favorably on Disney being in Florida. Most native Floridians, they would not be upset if Disney left the state, but they're not going to leave the state. Not at all. They've got 4 theme parks, about 30 hotels, a couple other side attractions, and other investments. They're not leaving.
No.
They are not leaving at all. I bet Biden will bail out Disney again. Well, he have to have his diaper changed first, and then
He'd
go
have
ahead.
to also stop shaking hands with his imaginary friends after every speech too.
Oh God, that's so freaking funny.
What do you mean there's nobody behind
That's
me to
so
shake my
freaking
hand?
funny. So they will have to pay more tax now. Eventually, they will. However, we don't know what kind of deal they'll wind up working out with because you've got not only do you have kind of DeSantis involved, you also have the leadership of Orange County and Osceola County. Interesting thing with Orange County is, the Orange County mayor is trying to get another sales tax increase passed. You don't hear about that.
Well,
Yeah, they're trying to get a sales tax increase passed to so-called pay for public transportation. Yeah, yeah. So how much tax they will have to wind up paying, who's going to know? It's who's going to know. It's absolutely like you say, it's a work in progress. Absolutely. Absolutely. It is. So like I
it,
said,
it,
both sides are going to eventually sit down, talk. They've got 14 months, but Disney will no longer have that special privilege. So they got to figure out what their plan B, C, and D is going to be. Sorry, go ahead, Betsy.
what also it means too is this is also DeSantis is pretty much being the head of the Hydra in a way. When he did the whole bill for the anti groom bill, whatever it's called,
Mhm.
12 other states picked up and started pushing the same type of legislation within their own educational systems. That you don't hear about that either. So
No.
what's going to happen now is that when you have these types of big corps, like not like Disney, in these things trying to pull the same crap, you know what that means? They can take away their tax privileges too. That means that we've all been talking about waiting for corps to suddenly get kicked in the butt because
Mhm.
they're the ones suffocating small businesses, family business, and all like that. This is the segue and the lead way. It's not going to be huge changes, but it might be enough to stable the playing field in a way, depending on the region.
Yes, because to kind of catch people up about Disney Special Tax District. Okay. How they got that is because, okay, put the Wayback Machine to 1967. Okay. Florida is a state where people know about, they come to vacation. You got Tampa, you got Miami, you got Jacksonville. There's citrus industry going on, there's other industries going on. Orlando is basically swamp. Just got a international airport known as McCoy Airfield. They finally got that, but not a whole lot going on. It's like a young city. Disney, under several shell corporations and individual people, are buying up land. No one seems to know why around Orlando. And then the Orlando Sentinel, female reporter there in 1960, I believe it's 1967 or 68, made a guess that the company was Disney. And then the next day, Disney reveals that yes, indeed, they bought up all that land. And then you had the mayor of Orlando basically welcoming Disney, thanking them because no longer do they have to send business people out to convince people to visit the state of Florida. They've got Disney instead. So, in exchange for not having to develop all the infrastructure that the park would need, it's like if you let us do it, let us operate autonomously and give us our own district. We'll take care of that. You won't have to. So that's the deal that they made in 1967. But when that finally got out and people in the state of Florida found out how to happen, as far as they're concerned, Disney stole that land from the state of Florida. And Disney is not looked upon favorably. So gonna be interesting watching what's going on with that. But yeah, the hits just keep on coming for Disney, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
And if you watch my show, Florida Man does not like being told what to do. Not at all. Not at all. Well, folks, thank you guys so much for hanging out with the show here. So do appreciate it. Appreciate all the chats, all the super chats, all the love. Thank you guys so much for hanging around on YouTube and also over there out there on Twitch. So, Fat Steven, what do you have going on?
I'll be on Pop Culture Minefield at about 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll be going into other things. We're dealing with Warner Brothers and the like. Probably some other stuff we haven't really talked about yet. Normal gaming and stuff. New shows like previously on Idiocy, Crap Talk with Steve McGarry on Wednesdays that alternate through both channels. And some other things I can't really talk about because I'm signed to NDA. But other than that, just stay tuned.
All right, all right. Let's see. Two things. Retro gamer. Disney has a history of eminent domain in Anaheim, California. Exactly, which is why they used the CIA playbook to buy up the land that the way that they did in Orlando, because they didn't want what's happening in Anaheim in Orlando. Because you notice the city of Anaheim pushes back on a lot of stuff that Disney tries to do, and they're constantly, yeah, they didn't want that in Orlando. So that's why they wound up with Reedy Creeks. Yeah, exactly. And yes, I did show a bit of a documentary about that. If you go on YouTube, you can find it. I think it was something from CBS. Like in the I want to say it looks from like 1971. No, actually, sorry, not 71, excuse me, around 72. And they actually talk about how Disney got there and the reception from the locals. And what they don't tell you is when Disney started showing up, you had a lot of people who were freaking unemployed, traffic jams, all kinds of stuff that were going on. So definitely look that up on YouTube. It's pretty easy to find. Pretty easy to find. Let's see. All right. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't Rambam. But it's like people didn't know because it just seemed like all these individual people were just buying land. And smart people who actually did real journalism started putting the pieces together and found out who it was. And because of the way that they went about it, that's why they're not looked down. They're not looked on very well here in the state of Florida at all. At all. So, folks, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. So do appreciate that. Have an amazing, amazing weekend, everyone. As for myself, I will be live streaming from Disney Springs Saturday evening, checking out all kinds of sugary snacks that are there. And of course, Sunday, the Welcome to Florida show returns with more bat blank crazy stories. And we're probably going to be talking more about Disney or DeSantis versus Disney. And I'm probably going to have to pull out that documentary to show everyone again. So with that said, folks, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will see you next time.